Welcome to another J5 Boxes Disc Golf Course Review. As always, I'm Jonathan, and I'm going to review for you today Oswego Land's Eagle Ridge Disc Golf Course. And we're going to play this course and see how it goes. This course is 18 holes, looks pretty decent. This is my first time at the course, so I'll let you know what it's like. What I noticed right offhand, they have available for you a bulletin board that keeps you up to date on everything that's going on. There's plenty of picnic tables around here, and I see trash cans a lot, so make sure you pick up your litter, put it where it belongs. Don't leave any waste on the course, keep it nice for everybody. And we'll see you on the green.
Eagle Ridge Disc Golf Course Review. Eagle Ridge is located in Oswego, Illinois. It's off Ashlawn Avenue near the Civic Center. There are 18 holes and it is a par 55 for this course. Tee type, they have concrete pads with pro tees that are also concrete. Basket type is the Disc Golf Association's Mach 3 baskets. Course length is 4,925 feet. The alternate length is 5,870 feet. For hole lengths, there are 13 holes that are less than 300 feet and 5 holes that are 300 to 400 feet. Eagle Ridge's terrain is a nice rolling terrain. A lot of the cleared areas are a rolling terrain, so you got some uphills in the middle of the throws. Not too much of a problem really. Just got to keep your discs maybe a little bit higher, stay off, keep them from running close to the ground. Extras on site include bulletin board, picnic tables and park benches. There is a pavilion near the entry by the children's playground. It's not really in the disc golf course area, but it is in the neighboring park as you're entering into the disc golf course. Entry and parking for the disc golf course. Parking is on Ashlawn Avenue near the playground and the pool at the Civic Center. So you're going to walk down the path to the left side of the playground, go across the tracks, and once you get across the tracks, you'll kind of enter a little clearing and you'll see a bulletin board. Hole 1 is right near that bulletin board. Hole 1 is a par 3, as most of the holes are for this course. And for hole 1, you're going to be throwing with just a little bit of a right hand curve, and it's 240 feet to the basket on this one. And then to hole 2 is pretty easy to find from here, so you're just gonna walk slightly to the left from basket 1 to find the tee off pad for hole 2. Hole 2 is 225 feet, and this one kind of goes around some bushes. You don't have a direct shot, but you're going 225 feet down and then kind of making a nice quick right at the end after the bushes. It's pretty clear around the basket, so you should have no problems with this. You'll want to watch out for the rough areas. In the rough areas, there's some prairie grass that comes up to about the middle of your calf at the time of my visit. I've heard various things that it gets deeper than that depending on the season, so you might want to try and keep it tight, keep it in the greens, so you don't wind up spending your time searching for discs. Hole 3 is pretty easy to find. You're just moving straight north of the basket 2 and you'll find the tee for 3. The tees are not hard on this course. They pretty much run almost as you'd expect. The trails are very well marked or worn in, so you pretty much know where you're going. This course is very good for that. So hole 3, it's a 325 foot, and hole 3 is also a par 3. No surprise there. This one you're going to start to see that rolling terrain. There's a couple trees in this one, so you're going to want to watch yourself there, but you're going to be throwing over a small hill, and then the basket is tucked behind a small berm. I did notice on this one that they have 2 places the basket could be, so you might want to watch out if they ever change it. But at this time it was 325 feet out and behind a small berm. The other basket placement is on top of that berm, so it could be either or, but it's probably going to be on the back side of the berm. Hole 4's tee is just to the right of the basket for 3, and you'll see it on your approach to the basket for 3. Hole 4 has a lot of trees, a lot of small thin trees. They aren't like big tall, they're just shorter thin trees, so probably not hard to get around, but it's always those ones that small tree, big disc, and somehow you manage to hit it. Hole 4 is 345 feet, and the map kind of shows 2 different ways around this, 2 different methods of approach to the basket. This is to navigate around the trees. Right around the basket it starts to get a little bit more dense as far as the trees go, so you're going to be want to play it very nice going into your approach for the basket. For hole 4 you're going to be throwing at a downward slope. And if also the season is right, there's a pear tree halfway down the green, so maybe you can grab a snack while you're going if they're in season, if they're growing. At this time the pears were right about golf ball size, so not quite ready, but here in the bit later in the fall you might see some nice sized pears up there. To get to the tee for hole 5, you're going to move to your left from basket 4, follow the path, and it will lead you to the tee for hole 5. Hole 5 is 240 feet, and this throw, hole 5 is pretty straight, but there's a sharp hook to your left at the end, and then there's a out of bounds area just past the basket, so you want to watch for that. To get to hole 6, you're just gonna move on over to the left, and the pad for 6 to tee off is right there. It's 275 feet for hole 6, and this one's nearly a straight shot. It's got a little curvature to it. You're going to be throwing on a downward slope. For hole 6 you're going to be throwing at a downward slope, and it's pretty straight shot from here. Watch there couple trees on the sidelines, so watch out for those, but you should be pretty good here. From the basket of 6 to hole 7 you're going to be moving to your left and walking up the path to pad 7, and the tee for 7 you're going to be throwing 245 feet. This is a par 3. There are 2 approaches for this one. One's a nearly straight shot. The other one you kind of go around to the right and approach your basket. There are trees on both approaches, so watch either way. Once you make your chains on 7, you'll be following the path to your right to get to the tee for 8. Basket 8 is 240 feet. And this one is straight to about 3/4 of the way, and just where you see the pine trees, there's about 3 pine trees right in a row, and you're going to make an immediate left right there, and it's you'll see it right there. It's a straight shot to the basket. So you kind of want to throw to the pine trees and then hook left in just before those pine trees. So you'll make a left from basket 8, and you'll approach the tee for hole 9. Hole 9 is 220 feet and is a par 3. you will be throwing on an upward slope. And the hole 9 is fairly clear. You're kind of out in the open. The basket here is mounted on a pedestal, if you will. So it's kind of up in the air. It's not really on a hill, but they built up the foundation to put it up in the air. So watch yourself on this one. It could be a little tricky. Moving to hole 10, you'll be moving to your right from the basket. And hole 10 is a fairly clear shot. There's some trees right around the basket. On the pad there's some brush to your left, so watch out for that. Hole 10 is a par 3. And when you're at the basket for hole 10, you'll look to your left and you should see the throwing tee for 11 right there, easy to get to. Hole 11 is 285 feet and is a par 3. For this basket, it's got a right-hand turn on it, so stay to the right. And the basket is in a little clearing just inside the wooded area. And moving from basket 11, you'll go to your left and you'll find a tee for hole 12. Hole 12 is 250 feet and is a par 3. You'll be throwing on a downward slope on this one, and we're now entering back into the wooded area, so watch out for a few tree hazards in here. This one has a slight right hand curve to it. The basket from hole 12 to 13, it's a little uphill climb, but nothing too major. There's some steps to the right of the tee if you need some steps. Otherwise, feel free to just walk up the little hill. Hole 13 is 300 feet. There are quite a bit of trees on this one, so you'll want to watch yourself, play it easy. And this hole 13 has a right hand curve to it. It's a straight throw about 3/4 of the way, and then an immediate right turn at the end. From basket 13, you will go to your left and you'll see basket 14. When you get to the tee for 14, you'll find out this 14 is a par 3, throwing 290 feet. Basket 14 has a lot of trees scattered in between you and the basket, so you'll want to play it nicely, throwing down that narrow way. Probably one of your straightest throwing frisbees, if possible, to get it down there. About 3/4 way down, there's a small clearing, and you're throwing through a couple trees right in a basket 14. Moving to your right, you're going to go up a little berm and then come back down, and you'll find a tee for 15. Hole 15 is 330 feet and is a par 3. And the throw for 15 is pretty much a straight shot. You're going to really see the rolling terrain on this one. Hole 15 is pretty clear and you shouldn't have too many problems getting to your basket. You're going to move to your right from basket 15 to find hole 16. Hole 16 is 400 feet and is a par 3. And you will be throwing on an upward slope. You're going to be throwing under a tree and then over a berm. So you want to keep it slightly to the left on this one to go around the tree, and then give it a little height to go over that berm, which should be alright. After you hit your chains for basket 16, you'll want to move to your left and cross over the bike path, and you'll find hole 17 just on the other side. Hole 17 is 230 feet and is a par 3. And hole 17 is kind of short and has a strong left hand hook. And various small trees scattered in between you and the basket. So this one can be a little more difficult to navigate. To get to the tee for 18 from basket 17, You'll just move to the left, down a little path, and you'll find yourself coming up on hole 18 right near the bicycle path. Hole 18 is a par 3 at 250 feet. There are two methods of approach. You can go left or right, but once you get there, you'll find the basket is nestled in a small group of trees after going through a large open clearing.
Well, that was all 18 holes. Thank you guys for watching. Come back and see us again for another disc golf course review. And I'd like to thank very much to the Oswego Land Park District for keeping up this beautiful golf course. It was very clean and very well kept, easy to navigate. I recommend this course for everybody. Please come check it out, Oswego Land's Eagle Ridge Disc Golf Course.